Why are there so many single women out here? Are you single ladies struggling to find a man?
The bar is so fucking low. What are you giving in exchange?
I quit at being independent. I'm so ready to have a man.
Those girls that are so desperate for male attention, let people come to you.
Across social media, a growing number of women are openly talking about frustration with modern dating. Some say they've achieved career success, financial independence, and personal growth, yet still struggle to find committed relationships. Others admit they're exhausted from handling every problem alone and wish they had a partner to share life's burdens with. The videos come from very different perspectives. Some women argue that many men no longer seem interested in commitment, marriage, or traditional relationships. Others claim modern dating has created unrealistic expectations on both sides, making it harder for people to connect. Several creators even suggest that years of bad dating experiences have caused many men to disengage from the relationship market altogether. At the same time, critics push back on the idea that women are simply victims of the situation. They argue that changing relationship standards, accountability issues, and shifting expectations have contributed to the growing divide between men and women. The result is an ongoing debate over who is responsible for the current state of dating, and whether anyone is actually benefiting from it.
Can we bring back catcalling? Not specifically but like flirting. Men don't do it anymore. And I noticed this because they don't walk up to bars and they don't flirt, like at the gym, anywhere. Men don't walk up to anyone anywhere. But they don't even catcall. Like the creepy men who used to catcall don't even do that anymore. Men have gotten like afraid to talk to women. Like, I'm not saying I need a man to catcall me, but a confidence boost every once in a while won't do me any harm. Let me get offended by you catcalling me at least. I walked through like construction sites today and like nothing, not even like a honk from a car. Like, not saying let's be creepy, but like maybe let's be a little creepy and like bring some confidence back a little bit.
As I've grown through the years, I've asked every man whom I see is successful, good-natured, and responsible, what's it like to be married? The first answer every single one of them gave me was, don't do it.
Okay, valid question. How come men don't ask women out in like public places like grocery stores and stuff like that anymore? I feel like when the apps came out, everybody kind of just gave up on meeting people in person. I do wonder if it has to do with like a fear of rejection, or if it's like you're worried that they might be married, which there is only one way to figure that one out. So just try and see. It's not like it's going to follow you around for the rest of your life. And they're not going to be like, wow, that jerk just thought I was not married. They're going to be like, how flattering was that? That guy just asked me out. I feel great. That makes me feel pretty. Usually, unless you're creepy about it. But I kind of wonder why nobody does that anymore. Because it's like, I'll see people and I'll even like see guys check me out in a nice way. I don't like the creepy ways. But nobody ever says anything.
I'm not saying let's be creepy, but be a little creepy and bring some confidence back. Lady, you wonder why men aren't approaching you. My dating days are over, but I really feel for this generation.
At this point, why would you date men? Ever again. I'm sitting alone in my house, in a silk robe. My bills are paid. Who paid them? Me. I'm eating blackberries. I'm drinking rosé. I'm about to start Harry Potter. Nobody's fucking stressing me out. Nobody's fucking sitting next to me on the couch being a little wimp. Why, ladies? Why?
Who, fellas? Who? Who would want to date this annoying woman anyway? Stay in your apartment drinking rosé and watching Harry Potter because no guy is going to knock on your door.
Why are there so many single women out here that are struggling to find a man? Well, I'm gonna tell you the reason, but you're not gonna like the answer. Now, this may not apply to you, so don't take offense. But if you do, maybe you need to reflect why it makes you offended. Honestly, a lot of women treat men like trash. A lot of women take men for granted. A lot of women want men to take accountability for their actions and what they do. But boy, if you ask a woman to take accountability for her faults and her actions, it's straight to signing divorce papers. But my question is, why are women so resistant to taking accountability? Like really, what is the reason why You won't take accountability for your actions. I know for me personally, because I was this woman for many, many years, like most of my marriage, I realized this because I thought I had to be perfect and that society judged me based on my level of perfection. And if I dared to take accountability for my faults and actions, then I would be even more demonized. But the reality is, me not taking accountability was making it worse. And I don't think a lot of women understand the fact that we are a lot of the problem. I'm not saying we're the whole problem, but at least on my platform, on this side of things, a lot of men are trying. They're putting in the effort. They're doing the things that they need to do. And women are taking their husbands for granted. They got married because they wanted to be married, not because they wanted to be a wife. So you single ladies struggling to find a man, most men are not even wanting to get married anymore because they've dealt with bad relationship after bad relationship of women taking them for granted and treating them like trash. And honestly, I can't blame them. If you put all the effort in for a year, didn't get anything back, you wouldn't tolerate that either. So why are we expecting men to just sit down, shut up, and take it? You would advise every one of your girlfriends, girl, don't take that from him. But why should he take that from you? And honestly, I truly believe that lack of accountability is one of the #1 reasons why marriages are failing. So we refuse to take ownership of the things that we need to take ownership for. But I can promise you, if you take accountability for your actions and work really hard to fix them, your marriage can look completely different. Because y'all, that's where I'm sitting right now. The problem is you just gotta swallow your pride, do what it takes to make a change.
The term creepy changes from woman to woman. Men are tired of getting accused of something they are not. Men also realize the prize is no longer worth the price of the game. Lastly, a very large population of men don't like bull rings in the nose. So, stop with the piercings that make you unattractive.
I can't sleep, I can't eat, I can't drink anything without feeling pain, true pain.
The feminist movement, Me Too, so-called toxic masculinity. Ladies, you created this. We all reap what we sow, don't we?
The bar is so fucking low. The bar is like underground. The bar is so... I actually started crying in the car because this guy that I was meant to go on a date with, I called him and it went straight to voicemail, and I was like, hey, it went straight to voicemail. He's like, oh, I'm on Do Not Disturb. And I was like, okay, well, I'm trying to disturb you. And then I was like, why do even men have the ability to use Do Not Disturb? And he's like, I've been disturbed all week. And I'm like, okay, then why think you have the energy or the capacity to be with a woman if you don't have the energy to answer a phone call? And he was like, oh, I want affection. And I'm like, but what are you giving in exchange if nothing? I am so smart and articulate, and I've traveled the world, and I've started a business, and I've lived by myself, and I've kept dogs alive for 8 years, and I speak 3 languages, and I'm close with my family, and I can cook.
They talk about men as if the wants and needs of a man are not even part of the equation. As if men only exist to serve their narcissistic fantasies. And they think this is normal.
I quit at being independent. I don't want to do this shit anymore. This shit is draining. I'm so ready to have a man come into my life and take care of me. My tires popped. 2 of my tires popped. And I'm sitting in my car because I don't know what the fuck to do. Obviously, I know what the fuck to do. But I don't want to do this shit anymore. I'm ready to have someone come into my life and take care of me. This shit is so fucking draining. This independent life. I don't want to do this shit anymore. I quit. Because every time something happens, I always have to figure shit out on my own. And I don't want to do that shit anymore. Yeah. Ya renuncio, ya no quiero ser independiente. Yeah. I want to be spoiled and taken care of. Because I shouldn't have to be stressing about shit like this. I'm tired.
Oh, boo-hoo! Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
These women don't seem to understand that they are one of the reasons many men have lost interest. When a man flirts, he's labeled a creep. When men behave in a masculine way, they risk being accused of crossing lines. It's not just Me Too, sometimes it feels like Men Too. In the end, men only need women for one thing, and that can also be found elsewhere, in other places and countries.
I might ruffle some feathers with this one, but I think that it's completely okay and natural to want male attention. And before you start calling me a pick-me, just hear me out. I think it's okay to want to be acknowledged and appreciated by the opposite sex, if you're a woman, for your beauty or whatever you bring to the table. That doesn't mean you're a pick-me or you're living off of the validation of men. I think the issue lies is when women feel like they need male attention versus wanting it. Wanting to feel appreciated or acknowledged isn't the same as feeling the need. And like, if you don't have it, you don't know what to do. I think the difference also lies in the type of attention. For instance, if it's just a man giving you a nice, respectful compliment versus if it's a man who's coming from a place that's disrespectful, it's very lustful, such as catcalling. And those are two completely different things and different types of attention. I think it's completely fine to want respectful, healthy male attention. And just like we feel the need to feel acknowledged and appreciated in other aspects of our lives, such as work, friendships, family, I don't think dating should be any different.
We don't want to be blasted online for being a creep. We don't want our careers and lives destroyed by false accusations for TikTok views. Go be with the bear.
Don't get me wrong, the male-centered women of the past were very, very bad. Like they did some real crazy shit in the pursuit of male validation. But I do think that it's even more egregious now because back then, like, it was still bad, but it's worse now because it's like, at least back then, those women, they couldn't even own like property. They couldn't even like get their fucking family inheritance without a husband. Like, it would immediately go to him or something like that. Couldn't even have their own bank accounts and stuff like that. So it kind of made sense that their life revolved around men to a certain extent because it's like, if I don't have a man, I literally, how am I gonna have access to this stuff? How am I going to have any sort of financial security? Like, their entire livelihood was tied to men. But we live in a time where in a good amount of places, that is not the case. Like, you can do those things for yourself. You can have some sort of independence for yourself. So it makes a lot less sense. Like, we do still live under patriarchy, so it doesn't completely not make sense, but it's like, that shit is bad. Like, women fought so hard for you to have the rights that you do now, and patriarchal conditioning worked so well that some women are just still like, no, like, I need a man. Like, my life revolves around them and their approval. My life cannot go on if I'm not getting the approval from a mediocre man that quite literally hates me. It's depressing to think about. Like, those women fought so hard just for women to come around to dismissing valid, like, feminist theory and critique because the men don't like it. God forbid, the men don't like it. How will we ever go on if the men don't like it? Of course they're not gonna like it because they are benefiting from your subjugation. Of course they're not gonna like it because the opposite of what is happening now would require them to give up some of their privilege. It would require them to acknowledge the fact that their lives are as good as they are because the lives of women are not as good as they could be. Like, I just can't believe it when I look back at history and then see how women are now, and I'm like, those women did a lot of work, and I'm so grateful that they did because I don't think today's women could do it. And I don't mean to be negative, I really don't, but I think that today's women are even more man-obsessed, like even more just like eager and hungry for their approval, because even with all these rights that we have acquired, even with all the progress we have made, they're still like, but that male validation, that shit is like a whole nother level. Like, they need that shit. And it's so fascinating because it's not even just women that are attracted to men, I've noticed. It's women that aren't even attracted to them that are still like, we don't want to upset the men. Like, I can be feminist, but not too much because the men won't like that. Like, that's fucking sad and embarrassing and very indicative of patriarchal conditioning. And I'm like, we're fucked. And it just reminds me that I need to go back on my Zoloft because with the state of this world and with the number that men and the patriarchy have done to women collectively, I'm gonna need that shit and possibly illegal substances. So, yeah, it's not looking good.
I believe when women say they want to get married, they really mean it. However, in the daily grind of life, if married, they change their mind, I am not happy. Then dump the guy.
Those girls that are so desperate for male attention, it's like insufferable to go out with them because always trying to get a man's attention. The whole point of going out is like to find guys. That is exhausting. Whenever a guy approaches one of the other girls or one of the other friends of the group, they immediately jump on the guy and they like start talking and flirting with them. That's the worst ever. At the end of the day, you cannot get in the way of what's meant for two people. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if two souls are instantly attracted to each other, there's no girl that can come in between that, and you really have to trust that, and that's how I operate. Whoever is interested in me is interested in me. They're not gonna just stop being interested in me because some other random girl comes up to them. No, if I caught their attention, I caught their attention for a reason. And if I'm attracted to them, then I'm attracted to them for a reason. Do you know what I'm saying? So let people come to you. I promise you, two souls that are destined to connect with each other are going to connect with each other, regardless of who gets in the way of that. I promise, I promise, I promise. What's meant for me is gonna be mine no matter what.
There is no room for a woman in men's life. They love sailing and fishing, so they moved on board my sailboat to do it full-time, alone, in peace.
If you are a single woman, this is something that's going to stop you from being so male-centered. This helps me. Always know that whoever you meet if he is, you know, single or whatever, just always know it's a woman around somewhere. Like, it's a woman around somewhere. And always know that men don't leave women alone. They would deal with a woman some type of way if she allowed them to. Trust me, I know. If anybody I have ever dealt with, if I wanted to deal with them in some capacity, some type of way, they would have allowed that to happen. Anybody that I've been with, I had to be the one to cut ties. So therefore, I know other women are experiencing this as well. I had to be the one to end things completely and cut ties, because if I don't, I would still get dealt with in some type of way. So that that's just always in the back of my mind. Like, men don't be leaving women alone. They don't be leaving women alone. If she's willing to deal with him in some type of way, he will allow it. I don't be leaving women alone. So that right there just keeps me grounded and keeps me focused on what the hell I need to be doing with myself. Thank you.
Fear of rejection barely factors in anymore. You can literally be charged with a crime, publicly shamed, fired from your job, and cancelled online if you proposition a woman who's in no mood for you that day. What these viral clips reveal is less about desperation and more about frustration. Many women are expressing disappointment with a dating environment that feels increasingly disconnected, while many men appear to be stepping away from traditional relationship expectations altogether. Whether the problem is changing social norms, unrealistic standards, economic pressures, or simple incompatibility depends on who you ask. But the conversation itself highlights a larger trend. Relationships are becoming harder to form, harder to maintain, and more heavily debated than ever before. As both sides continue to voice their grievances online, one question remains at the center of the discussion. Are modern men and women growing apart, or are they simply struggling to adapt to a new set of relationship rules that nobody fully understands yet? You're watching Modern Dating Logic, where we keep it real, not emotional. If you see the pattern, you already know what to do.